Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. Come with us as we chat with our outer international star. She was first shot into international spotlight on TLC's hit series, 90 Day Fiancé. Come with us as we chat with Shaeeda, our West Indian Bella. Hi Shaeeda, thank you for taking your time to chat with us at Tringlobe Media. I know we just passed Eid. How has your Eid celebration been?
It's been crazy great, like 3 days of celebration. We had good weather, surprisingly.
Yeah.
So we had a fun time.
And what did you do? Give us some insight on what you did for your Eid.
Okay, I got up in a little Trini food. I wanted to let Bilal taste some macaroni pie, some baked chicken. Unfortunately, there was no callaloo to be added. Couldn't find no callaloo. So I had to leave that out. I found some pigeon peas.
Yes.
So I made some pigeon peas.
Yes.
So it was a nice little, home festival. Then we went to the mosque and we celebrated with the rest of festivities. And we went movies. We went to different friends' house. It was really nice.
And does Bilal enjoy Trini food?
Oh, that's why he getting a little fat. He loved the Trini food. Yes, he loved it. He still craved doubles. When he came to Trinidad, I made him taste the doubles on the avenue, Arapita Avenue.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, nowhere's open. This is the closest place. And he fell in love with it. So he still loved doubles. He wants to come back home to taste doubles. So he loves Trini food.
Well, we hope he comes back soon to try those. So let me ask you, I know you said that your friend told you about going on to 90 Day Fiancé. Tell me, how did you manage to get on to there? What was the process like?
Okay, the process, it was during the pandemic when everyone was glued to the television. Nobody was outside. We were just quarantined at home. And I think I was just hooked on television watching TLC 90 Day Fiancé. And it was not like, I'm watching this to be on the show. It was just that I have nothing else to really watch, and I got hooked on it. And when Bilal's lawyer filed a K1 visa for me to come to America, that's when I was like, Bilal, isn't that the same visa you need to be on 90 Day Fiancé? He was like, yes. And I was like, I think we should apply for the show. He was like, you didn't get me to do that whatsoever. But I had a whole year to work on him. That was 2020. 2021. I finally got him to buy into it and say, you know what, we should try to just be on the show, because one, there was never a Trinidadian on the show. There are people from different parts of the world. I've never seen anyone that looked like me, speak like me on the show. He was like, that's a great idea. And that was one of the reasons why we got selected, because when we did our interview, the person who interviewed us said they never had a Trinidadian. They said, we love your accent. We never heard it before. Where are you from? I said, Trinidad and Tobago. They was like, okay, we never had somebody from Trinidad and Tobago. You'll be the perfect candidate to be on the show.
Awesome. And I know that the subject of online dating is so taboo with Trinidadians, with Caribbean people on the whole. How did you meet Bilal?
He was in the DMs. Okay, let me tell the truth. Okay, he added me on Instagram, and I followed him back on Instagram. And it took us a while before we started to talk. That was like, I could remember clearly, that was November 2017.
Oh wow.
And it was only in 2019, almost 2 years later, is when we started to like make little gestures. Heart my pics, he showed me signs, he hearted the pictures. Pictures. So it was just like an online thing going.
Yes. And how did that international recognition feel for you being on 90 Day Fiancé?
It is still crazy. I am the girl who used to be walking on Tagarigua. Sometimes when my car is not working, I hop in a maxi taxi from Citygate. It is so crazy from coming from that, living in the countryside. We moved up to the countryside later in my life, just peaceful living. Everyone mind your own business. There was no stardom. Now everywhere I go, especially New York, it's all like, Shaeeda, can I take a picture with you? Shaeeda, can I Shaeeda? So I can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
What do you think is one of the downsides of being popular, being famous? Do you have any downsides, I should say?
The downsides, everyone has an opinion about your life because you put your life out there, so you'd have to expect it back, you know. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to tell you what to do. Everyone wants to tell you how to look. So everyone wants to, if you buy something, are you still digging for gold? This gold digger title. So it's a lot of backlash you get. But you know, the positive outweigh the negative. So hence why I stay positive.
Yes, and as you mentioned backlash, I know sometimes the backlash may come from, I know when you came in and he was bringing you into his world, and your facial expression was like, is it here that you live? So it was really, you know, a lot of people were like, you're a gold digger. So, you know, you always see comments with people talking about that and stuff like that. Do you still get that to this day?
I was on my bed last night and I was just like, man, people still with this gold digger, because I was dressed up so nice for Eid. It was like, sure, Bilal bought you that. Oh, you're still with gold. I was like, guys still coming with the same lines, like after a whole year and a half.
And as you said, dressed up, I love your sense of fashion. You're a fashionista. So tell us, where did you get that motivation for fashion and style from? Where was that first birthed?
Okay, contrary to the internet, because I saw some blogs posting, this is how Shaeeda looked before Bilal, and this is how she looks since she's been with Bilal. I've always loved fashion. I've always loved fashion. Before Bilal, 2015, 2014, I've always loved fashion. I always liked to dress. When I went to Australia in 2016, because I got a fashion photography that was happening at the Sydney Opera House, and I got picked for that, you know. I did fashion competitions back in 2014, Citrus Stars fashion competitions, and I came second. So I've always had a sense of style, and I always loved to dress.
And I believe that you have gotten some deals with Fashion Nova as well.
Well, Fashion Nova, they did reach out to me, to be honest. I'm still waiting for them to, like, you know, sign up on the deal. I wore their outfit for Eid. That is like beautiful embellish on my neck. That was a Fashion Nova dress from Nova Lux, but I put on a Muslim abaya over it for modesty. But I'm still waiting on Fashion Nova. Come on, you guys, hurry up.
But do you feel strange that your personal life is out there, especially as a Muslim woman? And you know, with Muslim, you have to be very reserved. Do you feel a bit strange that your personal life is out there for everyone to see?
Not really. I feel like I wanted to give a Muslim perspective. I think most Muslims, we bottle a lot of things up. And I want to show I'm a Muslim, but I'm still a human being. I go through highs, lows, even my miscarriage was so public. A lot of women were like, how you managed to share that? Because I was like, you know what, if you could use your platform for something positive and to encourage women that it's okay, these things happen, move on, talk to someone to get closure, and everything will be all right. So I think I use my life as a way to help others as well.
And are you actively trying again for another baby?
Yes, everything is on God's timing. You know? I realize at this age, at 38, it's not as easy as it was when you were like 18 or 19.
What ignites your passion for yoga?
Passion for yoga came in 2017. I think I was going through a very dark, dull, you know, really disappointing moment in my life, and I came across yoga as a way to kind of heal me, and it kept me occupied with just being active and actually doing something for myself. Like, I really enjoy the flexibility stretches. I think I fell in love with the yoga postures more than the meditative part of yoga. So I love the postures. I'm always doing the poses, and it gives me comfort. It makes me feel really good.
And how can people register or get to join your sessions?
Oh, well, I have a website at westindianbella.com, and that's where you could sign up for classes. My classes are also pre-recorded. If you miss a class, you could always go on and, you know, do the class at your own convenience. So I made that because, you know, back home, or people who have different time zones and they cannot make the time that I teach live, they could always go back into the video library to access the class.
And what is next for you? What other ventures that is coming up that you're going to be surprising us with?
There's so much. There's still some, television in the making, as we speak. So you might see me again back on the television. I can't speak too much about that, but there are a lot of good things, a lot of deals, a lot of brands reaching out to me for opportunities, and I enjoy it, like for modeling, for makeup, for everything. So I do enjoy everything that's going on.
And I saw that you're on Pillow Talk now. How is that going?
It's nice. It's good to be, the one who is judging the couples rather than being shown have everyone judging you. So it's nice. You're the one that, just giving your commentary on everyone. I like that.
And how does your family feel with you being out there, being in the spotlight? What are your family's reactions?
My family, they're very private. Even to get them to be on 90 Day Fiancé was a struggle.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. My mom would be like, no. It was really hard for them to adjust it. It was like, Shy, we don't want you to put, all of our business out there. We're very private. So I try to respect their wishes, just I don't post with them much because they're super private people. But they do encourage me, and they're my biggest cheerleaders online. So I got their support 100.
And for those persons who are looking for love, what advice do you have for them?
If you are looking for love, the advice I will have for you is don't be afraid to make the first move. As women, we normally encourage the men to be men and be like, hey, can I go out on a date with you? But for Bilal and myself, it was I who made the first move. He was just hearting my pictures, but he never really came out and said, hey, I'm interested.
Yeah.
And I was the one who was like, hey, you keep hearting my pictures. Are you trying to send signals to me that you are interested? Yeah. And that's how we were able to strike a conversation. I made the first move. Yeah. And I know that's totally taboo in the Western world. All over the world it is. Yeah. In the Eastern world too. But I feel like sometimes you never know, that might be your opportunity behind the door. You just have to make the first move. You never know, that could be your opportunity with your husband, etc.
Correct, because a lot of us, we grow up with, our parents telling us that, the man needs to take the lead and you have to be reserved and wait until the man take the lead. What do you think about, in terms of, in this modern world now, a lot of women are proposing to men as opposed to men doing proposals. How do you feel about that?
I don't know about the proposal part, but
I do think that men take longer to make up their mind.
Men, not like for Bilal, he's not forward. Like, it's hard to get words out of him sometimes. He's not the forward one to be like, hey, let's go on a date, Yeah. So I feel like he was just trying to send signals, but he didn't know how to say, hey, I am interested. Yes. So there's men are different. You will see some men who are more bold and want to be like, hey, let's go out, let's, go on a first date. But Bilal, he was the opposite of that. So sometimes that might be your partner, might be someone who's not as forward. He's trying to show you signs. So you have to be the one to take the initiative and say, hey, let's get to know each other. What do you think about that? Just make your first move. I think a lot of women, because for me, I was like 35 and I was still waiting for Prince Charming to show up at my front door. But it was just so happened that the first time I actually made the first move was actually the person who I married. So.
Correct, and women tend to know what they want. So it is always advisable, women make the first move, And do you miss home sometimes? I know you have a lot of things going on, a lot of avenues have been opened up for you, but do you often wish that you could be back home, or you're comfortable being outside of Trinidad and Tobago?
Both. I'm comfortable being outside of Trinidad and Tobago. I just think there's so many opportunities out here, especially when you're on a television show, on a #1 television show on that network. And also I do miss back home a lot. Like sometimes I be like, you know what, I wish I was in Europe right now, getting a taste of some doubles, some maracas, getting some bacon shot. I do miss home. I do miss just driving down the east-west corridor sometimes just to go and run errands. I do miss that life a lot. So, but I know when I come back home, it's going to be different, and it's going to be different in a very good way.
Correct. I realize that you love to cook. Do you have any intentions of having your own personal cooking show on a network?
I would love that.
Yeah.
In fact, when I filmed 90 Day Fiancé, I did a lot of cooking scenes.
Yeah.
Just a little snippet was seen on television because they can't show all, but I did a lot of cooking scenes. I made purlori. People didn't know that.
Oh.
I showed them how to make purlori. I made a whole curry dish. I made pilau. But it's just, they didn't really emphasize on the food. About emphasizing on the drama. So, but I would love to show myself cooking because I do love to cook.
Yeah, so we see that. We watch your social media pages, and I was like, wow, the food looks good. The food looks good.
And I like to wash my meat. People always say meat. Why do you wash your meat? We wash our meat because we're from Trinidad and Tobago, and we wash our meat with some lime. If you don't have lime, you do the old school with some flour, water, right?
Yes. and again, as you say that, cultures are different in America. The things we do in the Caribbean is different in America. So when they see you washing your meat and you putting lime, it's like, what are you guys doing? So it's really a culture shock for some of them, but we love that you are exposing the Caribbean culture and the Trinidad and Tobago culture to the American as well as to the world.
Of course, I always say, and even when I was back home waiting to come to America, I always say I would never let go of who I am. This is who I am.
Yeah.
Trinidad woman, Trinidad and Tobagoan woman, Trinbagonain, and I would never let go of that. Yes, I'm an American now, but my culture stays with me forever.
Yes. And before you leave us, you have any words for the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Trinidad and Tobago, I love you all so much. I see you all commenting in the comments, putting a little Trinidad flag. I always try to reply back. I do love my home. I'm not one of those who go on away and thinking, oh gosh, I don't want nothing to do with my home. I love my home. I love my people. I love my home. Home will always be home for me. Trinity to the bone.
Always. And thank you so much. I know your schedule is really busy, and we thank you so much for coming in to chat with us at Tringlobe Media, and we can't wait to see the exciting things you're doing in the future.
Thank you so much, and I love you guys. I saw how you guys shout me out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and take care of yourself. Bye.